Hey there, Jonny May here, and welcome to this quick tip where I'm going to teach you my top 10 blues licks that I love to use when I'm improvising over the blues. Whether you're a beginner or a pro pianist, you're going to learn licks that you can instantly start using in your piano playing. All right, let's start with lick number 1, and it goes like this. Okay, such a fun sounding lick, and I'm not only going to teach you the notes of each of these licks, but I'm also going to show you the techniques that I'm using, because when you're playing blues piano, you want to be able to invent your own licks. So you're not only going to learn these licks, but you're going to learn the techniques so that you can create your own. Okay, so we're playing a blues in the key of C. In the right hand, well actually let's start with the left hand. We're doing kind of a basic blues shuffle. Okay, really simple. It's like C to G to C to A, okay? And we basically play each of these chords twice. 1 and 2 and 3, okay? And you could do different blues left hands. You could do a walking bass line, okay, if you wanted. But I think the blues shuffle is a great place to start because it has that authentic blues sound. All right, let's talk about that right hand lick. So I'm actually grabbing the F and the C. I'm doing a little turn like that. Okay, so it's the second finger up to the third finger, coming down, and then I come back F and C. I'm gonna grab the E flat and C, and then here's the magic of this lick. Okay, I do a little roll down on a C6 chord, okay? That's really important for this lick. Then I come up, grab my F and A. I call this a gospel connector, and then I'm gonna grab the D and the A. I'm gonna do a little turn like that, so. And then I come down, cross over to the A, and then I'm going to do a punch on the C7 chord. Okay, so for the punch, it's E flat, B flat, and C, and I'm going to slide up to the E. Okay, so that's the full lick. I'm going to play it slowly for you, and then we'll put the hands together. Okay, here it is real slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And here it is with the left hand, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the trick to playing this lick is to make sure your hands line up on the ands. Check it out. And 1 and, that's really important. And then 2 and then on the roll, this is really important, 3 and, okay, that's gonna be the hardest one. So this lines up on the and. 3 and then 4 and 1 and, that's gonna be tricky, and then 2 and 3. By the way, most of these licks use notes from your C minor blues scale, but many of these licks also use notes from your C major blues scale. And so one thing that a lot of students don't know is that you can mix both of these scales together, your C minor blues and your C major blues. And when you combine these scales, it's actually called your C mixo blues scale. That's actually the technical name here. So just keep this in mind, that when you're playing blues licks, you can actually use all of these notes. All right, before I teach you lick number 2, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. All right, here's lick number 2. Okay, love the sound of this lick. And what I love about this lick is that it uses turns. And a turn is basically when you grab a note like the F and you come up and then back down. Okay? And players like Oscar Peterson and lots of blues players use this technique. So it's really a great technique to use if you want to invent your own lines. So for this one, I'm grabbing the C on the bottom, coming up F and A, and my fingering is really important, okay? You want to use the 2 finger here because you're going to turn like that, and then come back up to F and A, and then we go C, and then we finish E flat A, F and A, okay? That's it. It's actually a very simple lick, and then it repeats. Okay, but make sure you're changing the fingering on the F, starts on the 2, and then the third finger grabs it so you can use the rest of the notes of the blues scale. All right, and here's the timing of this lick. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and here's the hands together, real slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 Okay, great work. Now I also want to mention that you can change your chords in the left hand. So if you want to go to the 4 chord, the F, you could do that. Okay, so feel free to have some fun with this and try some of the other chords in your 12-bar blues. Now at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can combine all 10 of these licks over your 12-bar blues. So be sure to watch all the way to the end so that you really understand how you can use these licks in your own playing. All right, here's lick number 3. Okay, really cool sound. And this lick is really nice because it kind of does a little run down the piano. And so it sounds kind of fun and flashy. If you want to play more of a run sound, this is going to have that sound. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting on a G, little pickup, and then I'm doing a turn on B flat. You see that? So I'm going to do crossover to G flat and C. I like to use this fingering with the 3rd. You could use the 2nd finger. We're going to come down to F, and I also like the 3rd on the F. So I like to go 3rd, 3rd, and then love this little roll. Okay, that's on the E flat. So, and then we're going to come down again, B flat to G. I'm using the C minor blues scale, and then we're going to finish our lick, G flat and C, F and C. Again, you can use the 2 finger if it's too far of a stretch. And then I go E flat and C, and then I'm going to do a little punch. Okay, and again, the punch is E flat and C, and you're going to slide up to the E. Okay, so we have, okay, so we're hitting the E flat twice, and then sliding it the 2nd time. Here's the timing of the right hand. I'll do it nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. By the way, if you're enjoying these licks and you want to learn more of my favorite licks, check out my Bible of Blues Riffs course over at pianowithjonny.com. In this course, you will learn 120 of my favorite licks at the piano. You're looking here at our beginner to intermediate level course, and I walk you through each type of lick and riff and how to build these licks. And then we also have our intermediate to advanced level course where you learn a bunch of my favorite licks and riffs, how to use rolls, how to play runs down the piano. It is a ton of fun, so I'll put a link to those courses below. All right, here's lick number 4. Okay, love the sound of this lick, and what's special about this lick is that it uses a turn, but it does not use your minor blues scale. It uses the major blues scale, okay? And so you can do turns on the major blues scale. And so the way I like to do this is I start with the A, and then I turn on the D, okay? And I'm harmonizing the turn with the A. Again, it comes from the major blues scale. So we have, there's the turn, and we come back up to D, A, and then C to D. And I'm harmonizing all of these notes with the A on the top. Does that make sense? So we have turn, D, A, that's by itself, and then we have C, A, D, A, and then it repeats. Okay, very simple lick. Here's the timing of this one. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And here it is with the left hand, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, lick number 5 is an awesome lick. Check it out. Okay, what I love about this lick is that it reminds me of Jerry Lee Lewis, who was a rock and roll pianist from the 1950s, and he really liked to sit up high on the piano, and so it really has that kind of fun rock and roll style. Of course, we're playing the blues and we're swinging it, but it kind of reminds me of that sound. So for this lick, we're starting way up high on the C, we have a pickup note, and then here's the magic. Okay, it's basically a double slide to the G, except I'm harmonizing it with the C and the B flat. Okay, so here to slowly, we have a pickup note C, we grab these 4th intervals, you see this? And then we double slide up to the G. Does that make sense? So really get that motion down. There's the grab and the double slide. You see that? So really practice that before you move on. And then we're going to grab the chord again, and then we come down with a harmonized roll. You see that? So there's the grab and the roll, like that. That's basically the full lick. So I'm going to do it one more time so you can see the full lick put together, and then we'll do the timing. So we have C, double slide, you see that? And then grab the chord again, and now the roll down like that, okay? Here's the timing. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and it keeps repeating like that, okay? Here it is with the left hand, real slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right, here's lick number 6. Love this lick. Definitely one of my favorites to use when I'm improvising over the blues. Now, this lick is very special because it is a 4-measure lick, and all of the licks that we previously played were either 1-measure or 2-measure licks. So for this lick, it's going to take a little bit longer to play, but it has a nice long phrasing to it. So this is something to keep in mind when you're playing blues licks. Sometimes you have a 1-measure lick, a 2-measure lick. In this case, it's kind of a 4-measure lick. So what I'm doing is I'm starting way up high with a down slide to F. You see that? And so I'm grabbing that G flat with the 3rd finger with the C, and I'm sliding down. And you, by the way, you could use the 2 finger if that's too much of a stretch. So I come down, I go E flat, F, and then I'm going to go back to E flat and C, C by itself. There's my gospel connector, and then I'm going to do a slow slide like that. It's kind of a triplet. Triple, and then lit, that's my gospel connector, and then I'm going to come down. Okay, this is using that major blues scale with a down slide. You see that? Coming over to B flat, I'm using the minor blues scale. We're going to come down to G. We continue with the minor blues scale. We're going to harmonize it. F by itself, E flat down to C, gospel connector, that's the F and the A, and then we're going to do a slide to the E with the E flat. G's on the top, C, gospel connector, that's the F and A, and then we're going to go D and A, okay? We're going to do a little turn, you see that? And then we're going to come down to A, and then we're going to do a punch on this guy. Check this one out. It's a C octave with a B flat right there. It has a really kind of edgy sound to it because we're not putting the 3rd or the 5th in the chord. We're just grabbing it, kind of has a hollow sound. And then we do the same thing. We're going to go D and A, little turn, A, and then grab that C, B flat, and C again. And here's the timing, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3. Now on the left hand, you might notice that I changed from my 1-chord C to my 4-chord F on measure 2. And so this is something that you can start to do when you're playing these licks, is you can explore some of the other chords, okay? And then on measure 3, I go back to my C, okay? Here are the hands together, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. By the way, I want to mention another really great course over at pianowithjohnny.com that will help you invent your own blues licks. It's called the 10-Lesson Blues Challenge, and it's different from the Bible of Blues Riffs because in the Bible of Blues Riffs course, I teach you pre-composed licks and riffs that you can use in your playing, but in the 10-Lesson Blues Challenge, I teach you how to invent your own licks and riffs. And so I show you all of the techniques that I use, including eighth notes, triplets, turns, slides, double slides. I show you how to use different areas of the piano and how to connect your various licks and riffs. And we have 2 courses for various playing levels. So this course is our beginner to intermediate level course. And then we have our intermediate to advanced level course, which is labeled the 10 Lesson Blues Challenge number 2. So I'll put a link to both of those courses below. All right, here's lick number 7. Okay, another very fun lick. Again, this is kind of in the style of Jerry Lee Lewis. He loved to sit way up high on the piano, and so it's just super fun to play. So what we're doing is we're way up high, grabbing some of the notes of our C minor blues scale. We're gonna hit this twice. You see that? And then we're gonna roll down basically some of the other notes of our C minor blues scale. So I'm switching from the G flat on the grab to the roll, I use the G. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of changing it here. You get that little rub, and then the roll resolves it. Does that make sense? So keep this in mind when you're inventing your licks. Little rub to the resolve note, okay? So we have the 2 punches and the roll. 2 punches, roll. That's it. Very simple lick, okay? Now the timing of this really matters. And when you're doing the roll down, make sure your C is on the and of beat 2. So many students mess this up and they don't put that C on the correct beat. So I'm gonna count it for you slowly. We have 1 and 2 and. Notice also how when we start the roll, it starts just after beat 2. I'm gonna do it once more for you. 1 and 2 and. Okay, so it feels a little weird. You're gonna have to practice it slowly, but eventually you'll be able to speed it up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, here it is with the left hand slowly. 1 and 2 and. Again, notice the and there lines up with the left hand shuffle. Okay, and then we have 3 and 4 and. Okay, and then a little faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, lick number 8 is a simple but great sounding lick. If you're a beginner, you definitely could play this one, but if you're advanced, you could also play it. Still sounds great. Here's how it goes. The magic of this lick is that I'm rolling my chords. So I'm starting with an E flat and G, and then I do a little roll on a C major. Okay? So the grab is E flat and G, roll E, G, E, C. Make sense? So grab and roll. Then we're gonna come up, gospel connector, that's the F and A. And then we're gonna grab the G flat and B flat, and then we're gonna do another roll, this time using some of the notes of our C7 chord. So we have the roll, and then come back down gospel connector, then E flat and G, and then the roll again on the C chord. Makes sense? And then we have F and A, and we end with a little punch. And for the punch, it's E flat and G, sliding up to the E. Here's the timing, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and here it is with the left hand. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And. All right, here's lick number 9. Okay. I absolutely love this roll. It's probably one of my go-to rolls when I build up my blues solo and I want to go fortissimo. I want to go really big and I want to get a really punchy sound way up high. This is my go-to lick. Now, this lick is actually a lot like the last lick that I taught you, but it has a lot more notes in it. So I would say this is more of an intermediate, perhaps even advanced level lick. So for this lick, we're gonna grab a big C minor 6 chord, okay? And then we're gonna do a big roll down, a C major 6 chord, okay? So you got the grab, the roll, all the notes. Then we're gonna come up to the gospel chord. It's a big F major in second inversion. And then we have our grab, a lot of the notes from the C minor blues scale. And then we do the roll down using these notes from the C minor blues scale, okay? And then we come back down to our gospel chord, and then back to the C minor 6, and then we repeat the same thing. Roll down the C6, gospel chord, C blues, roll it down, okay? Does that make sense? Here's the timing nice and slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And again, notice that that bottom note of the roll is always going to line up on the and. And again, this is one of the biggest issues that I see for students. They don't get this timing correct. So really keep this in mind. Make sure it's lining up on the ands. Here it is with the left hand, nice and slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, here's lick number 10. What I love about this lick is that it has such a happy sound to it. And so I love to throw this lick into my blues playing when I want to get a little bit of a happier major sound to it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting on the C, I'm doing a double slide to G, you see that? Coming up to B flat, I'm going to do a little roll down the C minor blues scale, okay? And you can change the fingering, you could go 4-3-2 or 3-3-2, that's fine. Come down to C. We're going to come up to E flat and A, okay, kind of a tritone sound. E and G. We're going to come down C, cross over to A, and then this is fun. We're going to do a little turn on the G. You see that? G, A, G, D, and then we're going to do a little grab on that C minor 6, and then we're going to do a punch on the C6, but we're going to slide the E, okay? So we have the grab, and then one more with a slide up to the E. Here's the timing, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And here it is with the left hand, real slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. By the way, this lesson comes with 6 downloadable backing tracks at different tempos. You can also download the lesson sheet music, and you can change the key of this entire lesson with the click of one button with our smart sheet music. So I'll put a link to all of that below. All right, so how would you combine these 10 licks over the 12-bar blues? Well, we're going to play along with one of the backing tracks, and I'll demonstrate how you can start to do this. Let's start with number 4. Here we go. Let's go to 10. Let's go to 2. Let's go to 3. Let's go to 6. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the lesson, please let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out pianowithjonny.com. We have over 1,000 step-by-step lessons where you'll learn your favorite songs and styles. We have live learning events and an awesome community, so be sure to check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.